Welcome back to the Wilderness Podcast. We're back in the studios slash office. Yeah, we here. We back to serve you, my wonderful people. Yeah, you see the name of the show tonight, right? Yeah, you understand what it is, right? Yeah, it's time to talk. It's time to really have some real conversations. So, welcome to the Wilderness Podcast. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you missed me back into this space. I love this space. But sometimes I have to get out of this space. It's therapeutic. But anyway, check out tonight's show is the work you put in mentally and physically equals peace. I just kind of halfway explain to you why you gotta have a multitude of locations to, I don't know, do what you want to do. Kind of like, yeah, that's what it is. How about that? Yeah. Kind of like, yeah, that's kind of how that works when it comes to being a being that wants to be mentally stimulated at all times. What's wrong with that? Physically stimulated, not at all times, because you can wear the physical out. There are patterns and equations to everything you do and everything in life and how you want to think you want to live your life. But some people take complete, specific advantage of their privileges because they are free or so called free. You live in a body that you should be learning so much about, but you're free, right? that's that's funny. That's funny. You free, sure. Well, it depends on how you look at any equation. You understand what I'm saying? Any equation. Y'all know I'm active. I like to move around. It also gives me the ability to not have to deal with adjusting the goddamn mic. I'm so grateful for the little things. What I'm trying to help you understand is a lot of times in life, it has everything to do with what you argue with, everything you have a problem with, everything that you think is a fucking problem. You it. Yeah, it's you. You it. Yeah, you the problem. You it. You the whole situation. Since your ass woke up in the morning, when you have figured out you wanted to be the problem, you was that. Plain and simple. No matter what situation you're in, it has nothing to do with just being in a relationship. It has nothing to do with you being you, other than the fact that you made that decision. And you ain't just started making that decision. It's probably because you was hurt. You understand? Like when you gotta put the work in mentally and physically to get the peace, that's a fucking hard ass road, buddy. Harder for some than it is others, I'm sure. But think about it. Your mental mind space and how you have to get through every day is an equation, mathematically sound, and is also a la carte and catered to you, tailored for you, as a matter of fact. How about that? Let's get to some music because oh boy, I've started off pretty strong tonight. Let me take it easy. Let me get to some music. All right, I can do that for you guys. Yeah, we can do that. No problem. No problem at all. No problem. Gotta ease some of y'all into the truth. So we're gonna start out with something nice. Hope you like it. I'm gonna play something you like because I'm gonna like it. Hell, I can't play nothing I don't like. That's what it is. Not feeling it like that. It ain't bad, but All right. That loosens me up a little bit. You know, that old out there in that space kind of vibe. See, when you are out there in that kind of space, you in your own space, when you're comfortable with you, when you got your own settling space of comfort, when you know yourself, you can always be yourself. That's the success of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be honest with you. It's the ability. Hold on. I had to get MJ straight. Y'all know what it is. Shit. MJ gotta be MJ. You know what I'm with the ball. Y'all see the ball. Y'all, you know, it's behind the book. Yeah, of the killings of many. But anyway, back to something positive. Check it out. Let me check the volume on this again. Hold on. Let me check the volume because sometimes I don't like the way the music be overcast. Oh, we good. We solid. All right. It ain't overcasting me. Don't like that shit. But anyway, back to the show. The work you put in mentally and physically equals peace show. I don't think people take peace for granted. I just think some people need chaos to find peace or have peace. That's a pathetic mindset. I always got to be meddling into something, doing some shit that you ain't got no business doing. Something beyond and above you that you have no complete understanding of whatsoever. Love you too, brother. My big brother, that's for sure. Man, when you talk about the understanding of realizations of you have a tremendous amount of work to do. Mentally and physically. See, I have conversations with a lot of partners of mine, and we talk about how, like, being a Generation X baby, yeah, straight up like that, for real. Like, we live very dangerous lives. We were dangerous. We would roll in cars with no seat belts. We played in fucking the deep woods with no supervision. We made guns out of sticks and actually had BB guns. We built tree houses. We were free as fuck. But we had morals and ethics and codes. Symbols. Symbols was, you know, that street light come on. You need to take your ass home. You understand? You have done all the dirt you wanted to do that day. Fucking piss neighbors off. Did all kind of little weird get off shit that kids like to do, because when you were kids, we were cruel. We was fucked up little cruel kids at times, but we were just having fun because we wanted to see the reactions of adults. And adults at that time also were childlike, and we knew it. So they kind of put us in a position to think like, y'all ain't no different from us, huh? Not too much. Y'all adults, but y'all fight, argue, we hear you on the phone. Y'all some motherfucking children. Still act like children. Some of them baby boomers ain't never grew the fuck up either. And then they had the nerve to come out with psychiatry and need the most psychiatric help. How is a nurse that's a boomer, a nurse, and a drug addict at the same time? Well, I guess she need that to maintain her. You know, some people are weird. A lot of times we don't understand, like, sometimes we have given ourselves shit in life. Not me. I'm saying some people that you may know. They have never wanted to get a skill set worth of fuck. They have never wanted to do anything that meant you, themselves, or anyone else any good. That's pretty awful, I would think. But they exist. And we have to come to terms with that. Everybody's not interested in building a better civilization for people that don't want to understand that life is not just about living, it's about developing, working on yourself, and learning. So you have a whole lot of people that have literally been existing on proper planes in order to be the one or be the person that they want to be, but you know what they didn't want to be? That said person. Themselves. You believed everything that you could to make yourself feel good about yourself. But what if everything that you have ever believed was like in the definition of the word belief, the gift of a lie? Again, I tell you so. It depends on how long you've been tuning into the show. You dig? You understand? See, a lot of us, we lie to ourselves in order to make ourselves feel relevant or validated. It's an awful trick. It's a terrible tool that you can actually use to your detriment if you don't understand the history about you and how you have arrived at the point of being the top of you, which is you. You are your final destination. Unless you understand that if you are real with you, you may have a further destination. But if not so, you will be here to do this shit again until you learn your lesson as a being. That's kind of how that goes. Let's do some book sharing. Do y'all miss that? I know you miss me sharing books. I know you do because I do too. I do. I really do. So let me get to it, okay? First and foremost, there's going to be some new to some, not all. We know this. We're going to start off with the etymology tonight. Give me a second. Here we go. All right. All right. We're going to pick some words out of here. And just to let you know what some words actually mean. I'm going to be specific. All right. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Hook. Probably about 1200 hook earlier. And the surname 1166 hooker. Developed Old English before hike, corner, edge, middle, low, German, Middle Dutch, hike, boat, Old, Saxon, haku, hook, Middle Dutch, hank, modern, hanker, Old, Icelandic, hank, chin, Proto-Germanic, hiker, hanker, modern spelling of the first, recording in 1440, parallels, hoof, before 1300s, hanker, the furnace of a hook, and a hiker, past, participant, curved like a hook, probably about 1130. Developed from the Old English about 10,000. Past. Practical. Hike. Crooked. The meaning and attached was with a hook. And first record in 1597. Hooked. Addicted. 1925. The verb hooker. The thief. Or pickpocket, later prostitute, formed from hooked. You see how words have always had their transgressions and their spells attached to them? Yeah. Let me get rid of this. Nothing bad. Just let me talk to you. See, being hooked is something that you all are. You're all hooked on something. You could be hooked on work. You could be hooked on shit. We all hooked on something. Something that makes you thrive. Something that makes you inevitably in place to where you need to be at all times. It's something that is attracting you to this show. The reason why I'm reading you the etymology of the word hooked is because some of you are hooked on pretentious things and pretentious ways that go against your actual potential. You ever thought about that? Why you're so pretentious? Is because your ways have potential. Think about Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, very pretentious people. Think about, but in a world where pretentiousness is a gift, fake solemn white men that thought they were the world's gift. Sickness is an incredible thing. Let's get to another word because I can pick any word in this etymology dictionary and just hold on. Here you go. Here you go. Let me show you. Because I can pick any word in here and make you understand how pivotal it is to how we are orchestrated in this specific society. Let me explain, please. Let me just pick a word. You're gonna let us music, okay? Music, borrowed from Old French. Musique. And directly as a learned borrowing of Latin musica, Greek. See, everything go back to Greek, which is this not true, but that's their muse. Okay, the spelling of the musical first recorded in 1633. Musical, probably about 1421, borrowed in the middle French musical directly of the medieval Latin musical modern instruments, later musical performed in 1597 from the adjective musician about 1380. Musicien, borrowed from Old French musicien, musique. Okay. Miracle. I'm not going there, but anyway, that's the second word from the etymology dictionary, so that lets you know how. Give me a few ticks. I'm going to come back and let you know where I'm going with that, because we are the work you put in mentally and physically equals peace. We're going to travel tonight, ladies and gentlemen, just for a little bit. Give me a few ticks. Oh. Well, dig this. I had something really important to tell you. I need you to share, like, and subscribe to the Will This Podcast, because I will continue to keep putting on some of the dopest podcasts, giving you official and efficient information, just so you know there may be some things that you have not known. Is that fair enough? Okay, I will continue to carry on, but you got to stay with me because we got to keep going. Understand me and understand me well. We will always give you some of the most efficient information that are not tales. Let's keep traveling through, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me make sure we can. All right. I've had some scars. Okay. All right, so. Oh, no, not this. I got a book to share that I don't get into very often of sharing because I have so many. But this one deserves some specific connotations that should be read aloud, I would say. Okay. Color terms in English and other language. All right, this is from Loros, Pardos, and Mestizos. Okay, check this out. Before I get to the color terms in English and other languages, I will read you the last of the, this is the Americans who were Moreno and Pristo seem to have a regarded by Gamilla being darker than the Pardo and the Trigino Pardo would have implied. In any case, one can again see the inherent difficulty of using color terms of differentiation between the various people of the Spanish Portuguese empire, since the Americas themselves could range over almost the entire spectrum of browns from near white to near black. In any case, the word pardo gradually gained in importance. It is very ambiguity and vacuousness undoubtedly facilitated a general spread until we shall see later it comes to a virtually equivalent of color in many Spaniard speaking regions. It should be stressed that pardo, as a relational term, dark, had a vagueness that could make more useful than a specific color descriptive, had a vagueness that no, this is, I'm sorry, I was reading the other variable line in such a part of gray. I dated a girl once, no said name, but that's how she wanted to consider herself as gray, because she wanted to play both ends to the middle for dominance. That's how she lived her life. So I asked, so you like everybody? She says, yes. I don't see color. I love love. I love to make love. Oh, yeah, she did. But that came with a very traumatic price to pay, because she was a mulatto, a melodic person. Love to take from one end and the next and be melodic about it, as if she doesn't even understand what she's doing, but yes, she does know what she's doing, and yes, he does know what he's doing, because what you're doing is you're playing a position to your benefit as a conquistador itself. That's how you were taught. That's why you were brought here, to cause confusion. As long as you lighter skin or, a brownie, when they say black love, brown pride, that never existed, ever, never have. It was just a game of the Amari was supposed to be ignorant, dumb, stupid. Just couldn't understand that these people of color that look just like us won't deal with us because, just like, man, I was looking at check it out. I was looking at YouTube, and there are a great deal of all Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. It's a whole lot of places that are really just all their content is about Black Americans, like nobody else, just Black Americans. And our relationships over here with either European Americans or Latin Americans, and then they also are learning and having classes in India and variables in Bangladesh, and they're also having these classes on how our relationships are here in the West. And they know that the reason why it's so easy to sort of yield to understanding the truth is because when the European class of a being put itself on top of humanity, making pale a default, they thought it worked out for them because of the amount of new people, new meaning pale, lighter complected people that were able to either blend in or become adjacent to white. That's why they were able to behave and be nasty and despicable to the darker races. The crazy part about it is it all work out in their favor that way because a lot of the lighter skin races, and some of them, some but not all, because everything. What I'm trying to explain to you is everything. It's not. It's more so. I would say this. It's not a monolith. It's more so of an equation. It's more so of an equation of specifically wanting to gain ground of ownership, wanting to gain ground of being, because decisions that were made, at some point, you have to be accountable of decisions that you make today and how you treat people and how you orchestrate your life. And you should absolutely know the history of where you are and the history of the indigenous class of people that have existed here before anyone ever thought about breathing here. We were here. The indigenous American Indians, as well as the Trinidadians, as well as the Jamaicans. The indigenous were global. We were conquered. But how can you be conquered when there's not such a thing? If you think about conquering, all conquering has to do with conquering of a person's mindset. It doesn't matter what you do to them. Degrade them, beat them, downtrod them, destroy them, treat them as if they were never here. The problem is they're still here. See? Right here. See? The oldest kind, the melanin, the tip of the spear of the world. So anyway, I hope you check out my previous shows on the Wheelers Podcast. Also, I hope you check out the wheelerspodcast.com. I got some merchandise for you. I hope you are interested. I appreciate it. I love you. I love, even for me to be in this position right here today to give you such quality material, quality content. I want to give you quality clothing, quality items, things that ease your day, make you more comfortable, give you peace. Because peace, I promise you, being mentally and physically at peace with yourself equals peace for humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a day. That's your day. That should be your everyday. Ladies and gentlemen, that should be your everyday. Seeking the elements that resolve your angst. The things that keep you from being who you want to be. I'm telling you, all answers lead back to you. That's the show tonight. So the work you put in mentally and physically, that's your equation to peace. I promise you that. That's a fact, 100%. Anyway, that's the show tonight. I love you dearly. I love you so much, but this is my favorite part of the show. You know that, right? Listen. The wheel is yours. Yeah. You know that's true. You got this shit. Y'all got it covered. You can knock us out the park long as you put your time and energy and efforts into you. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Be cool. I'll holler at you. Maybe we'll get to some music another night. But check me out tonight. Peace. All right. Shit.